What's going on, people? This is Shok. Here's my video for Sony. What I want to see, what I think we're going to see, whatever. But before I get started, shout out to Broken Games HD. He finally made it onto World Star Hip Hop. He is officially black. So round of applause to Broken Games HD. The rest of us are still waiting. We still don't have our black card yet. But shout out to him and Lisa for making it onto World Star. Congratulations. Anyways, onto the video matter at hand. Sony. Where to even begin? You know, it's easier with Nintendo since their console is already out and they announced a lot of, you know, what they're already going to show. But for Sony and Microsoft, it's a little harder to kind of think about what they're going to show and things of that nature. But what I would like to see is, I want to say dedication, but I would like to see Sony make a drive to kind of bring back their older franchises. Things such as Medieval. I think that would be simply amazing to have another Medieval game on the PS4. That would be freaking dope. If Sony could just bring back these PS1 classics that put them where they are right now. See what I mean? Because these new IPs are cool and all, but a lot of them, you know, like I'm not too crazy about. Now Uncharted, that was a very good, great new IP. You know, Infamous was a great new IP, but outside of those, there's really nothing on the PS3 that I was just like, oh, you know, this is why I love Sony. You see what I mean? But yeah, I would like to see some new IPs come back, but maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part. I think Sony is pretty much only concerned about, you know, new IPs and trying to find their next, basically, I guess you could say, you know, Uncharted this generation for the PS4. You see what I mean? Hopefully they don't spend too much time talking about features. Like I said, you know, features are great and all, but if they're not really gaming related, then I'm not going to really care that much. You know, but like I said before, when it comes down to it, it's all about the games. So I hope they don't get too much into, oh, the specs. This is how many, you know, polygons we can put on this character model's face. Like, you know, I don't care. You know, hopefully there's just, you know, this game focus. Game focus. Also, I want to see. Now this is tricky right here, right? Because it's just hard to say. Like, I want the price to be affordable, but at the same time, if the price is affordable, then I think that they're going to sell that thing for a huge loss. Like, the pricing is going to be really tricky here, right? Because we already know Sony, you know, has lost tons of money, whatever. I don't need to get into all that. We all know Sony has lost lots of money, and I just don't see them selling the PS4 at a huge loss when they're already, you know, they have lost so much money, you know, this previous gen. I want it to be affordable so it's more affordable for me, but at the same time, I want Sony to do something that will be healthy for them. You guys see what I'm saying? Now, who knows, maybe for all we know, they got like a really good deal on their parts in the PS4. That could be the case. But when you have 8 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM, very fast RAM at that, that is hella expensive. Even for a console manufacturer who is buying that in bulk. You see what I mean? That is, it just sounds like a very expensive console, but hopefully Sony nails the pricing just right. Another thing I want to see, and they kind of touched a bit on this in their February conference, I want to see them come hard at Xbox Live. Come hard at it. Like, show this whole new revamped, we got this feature and that feature, PSN. I mean, they already confirmed across the game chat, which I'm sure Sony is going to offer for free. But I just want them to kick Microsoft in the ass and be like, hey, look, they're making you pay for things that we're giving you over here for free. I want Sony to go hard after them, because, you know, what that's going to do is that's going to encourage Microsoft to either dramatically lower the price of Live or make it free next gen, period. You see what I'm saying? And I've said this before, Sony needs to put pressure on Microsoft when it comes to the online. Because when you see a Sony guy arguing with the, you know, Microsoft dude, what does the Microsoft guy always say? You know, Xbox Live, Xbox Live, Xbox Live. So if Sony were to go after Xbox Live, have what Xbox Live has, but offer it for free, then Microsoft loses that advantage, and they're not going to necessarily have the multi-plat advantage either. You see what I mean? Because both the systems are both using, you know, PC-like architecture. So, you know, you really can't, Microsoft can't use the, oh, we have the superior multiplats that play better over here. You see what I'm saying? So Next generation, I see Microsoft losing a lot of advantages to Sony. Santa Monica, I definitely want to see what they're working on. In my personal opinion, I hope it's not a God of War, because honestly, I could live without another God of War for a very, very long time. God of War Ascension just came out. Then God of War 3 came out in 2010. Then we had, Ghosts of Sparta and Chains of Olympus in the other years, yada yada, whatever. I could do without another God of War. I would love to see Santa Monica work on a brand new IP. I think that would be dope. Also, there was that rumor, they had that picture like in the background, this computer screen and the Naughty Dog offices, and they had like these two character models, and people were thinking, hey, maybe that's Naughty Dog's new game. Don't know how far it is in development, considering the fact that The Last of Us, it's still not finished, it's still in development right now, but at the same time, a lot of devs do start the development of their next games once the development of their, latest game is starting to wind to an end. But really, it just depends on how far into development, Naughty Dog's game is. But if it is ready to be shown, or at least, you could do a CG trailer, that would be cool. If they do a little CG trailer, a teaser, whatever, to Naughty Dog's next project, that would be dope. I love Naughty Dogs. They're pretty much, the retro studios. How retro is with Nintendo, that's how Naughty Dog is with Sony. How Bungie was with Microsoft, that's Naughty Dog. So of course, whatever Naughty Dog shows, it's going to be a quality game, whether, the genre or whatever it's like is up your preference or not. Naughty Dog still makes quality games, right? You had the Crash Bandicoots back in the day, Jak and Daxter. Great company with a great track record, great history, period. I'd also like for Sony to, and I know this won't happen because they already confirmed this, but let us use our DualShock 3s with our PS4. And please allow us to transfer our PSN games over to our PS4, because I don't understand why they didn't make that decision. I understand the no backwards compatibility, because you're going from a cell architecture, which is completely different, to basically a PC architecture. So backwards compatibility would be very hard to do that. You see what I mean? I can understand that, but why can't I transfer my digital games over to my PS4? That doesn't make any sense. If something is in digital format, I should be able to transfer that over. You see what I mean? And I bought 2 DualShock controllers. I don't want to, I already have 2 DualShock controllers, right? So when my PS4 comes out, I wanted to have it so where I have 3 functional controllers. That way I don't have to spend more money buying, extra controllers. Sony, why? A lot of the time, Sony is on it, games-wise and things of that nature. Sony is usually on it, I really don't have much complaints. The only complaints I usually ever have towards Sony is when they do too many, like montages, or they focus too much on specs and how many blue cubes they can fit in a valley on screen. Like, I don't care for all that, Sony. Sony, you did that in your February conference. You already got that out the way. All I want you to do is the same thing I want Nintendo to do, games. Just talk about the games. That's all I care about. Now, Killzone and Infamous, personally, I'm going to be buying both of those games when I get my PS4 this year. But, those games don't necessarily appeal to the masses. They're not like, that game. They're not series where everybody's like, oh, another one of those games? Oh, I got to go out and buy one, like a Halo would be, or a Smash Bros. Or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Killzone and Infamous, they're no Metal Gear or God of War or Uncharted. You see what I mean? So while those games are going to sell to, the Sony dedicated and whatnot, I would like to see Sony announce 1 or 2 games, that have more, mass appeal or things of that nature. Almost forgot, The Last Guardian. Please let that rumor be true. Please announce that The Last Guardian has been moved to the PS4 and it will be releasing on the PS4 either this year or next. Please. Same goes for 13 Versus. I want that Square Enix dude to come on the stage. Feel like, yeah, we haven't been talking about Versus lately. We haven't shown it. It hasn't been released. But we like to announce that it moved over to the PS4. It'll be releasing so-and-so. That would make my day. Just seeing that Final Fantasy 13 Versus is still alive. I know last year they said it was still alive, but for all we know, it could have been PR talk. They could have been talking out their asses, because if something is still alive, you would talk more about it. We would see something. We would see some new gameplay, a new trailer, something. But I would love to see The Last Guardian and freaking Final Fantasy 13 Versus. announced for PS4 development. Again, maybe that's wishful thinking, but this video is what I would like to see. So that's this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll see you fools later. Look forward to my Microsoft video.